Welcome to the IVM Podcast Network.
TFG Football is an IVM production, and you can also check out their other awesome shows like Geek Fruit with fellow and television geeks Tejas, Jishnu and Dinkar as they discuss the world of science fiction and nerd culture.
You're listening to TFG Football.
Good day, everyone. This is Kevin. I'm filling in for Siju, who could not be here today, and I'll be the host for today. And joining me is Chiranjit via phone call. Chiranjit, what do we have for the weekend? Do we have filled up blockbuster news, or is it just dry, something that we couldn't be expecting?
It seems like everything has died down, isn't it? Everybody's just waiting for the weekend. Not much is happening. And that's good as well, because we had a mad week of shit going down everywhere. So it's a good thing. Hopefully over the next 2 days everybody gets to take a breather before everything gets underway on Monday.
Hopefully some good footballing news, some good transfers being talked about. So we are building up to the draft that's possibly set on the 23rd of July. So most of the teams have already declared their retentions, and the signings are going on. So we'll have a in-depth talk about the new signings just prior to the ISL draft or something, or maybe we'll have an in-depth episode where we'll just talk about how the draft is going to be panned out. So the first news for today is Vineet, CK Vineet, who was in the news for losing his job. CK Vineet is a professional footballer, but he is also on a job full time. It might be something that many fans do not know about this. But then, yes, footballers do look out for opportunities to sustain themselves once their career is over in football. So Vineet was one such victim of a low attendance, and he was thrown out of a government job in Kerala. So that was in news. We talked about it. So the report suggests that he is offered the job back. The Kerala the sports minister says he will do his best to give him this job back. And any more developments on that, Chiranjit?
Yeah, look at this is a bit sad that footballers and other people, professionals who are connected to football still hold jobs. Like, Devjit Majumdar has a job. He plays in Office League and stuff. Sanjay Sen, we've talked about this before. He's a employee of the Kolkata Metro Railway. So, CK Vineet, I was actually a bit surprised when I heard that he was losing his job, because I didn't know he had a job, a government job, state government job, so to speak. And he, the guy is a superstar, plays in ISL, I-League, plays for the national team. He's one of the busiest footballers in the country, and he holds a job. Of course, he was going to have low attendance, and they fired him because of that. I don't really think they needed to fire him, because any department, like governmental or private or whoever you are, you would know that having him associated with that sort of raises your prestige. So I don't know who was the head over there who was making these decisions. It was bad PR, and that's what happened. I think the government got a lot of flags from the football fans out there for treating him this way. And for some reason, CK Vineet also apparently seemed to very much care about that job. I don't know why. He's going to make probably in the next 5-6 years, he's going to make a lot of money. And I don't think that job would pay him any kind of money. He's an intelligent guy as well. If he goes into commentary and or coaching or whatever it is, he's going to make a lot more than any kind of government job. But he wants it. And now the sports ministry, going after all the bad PR they got, they are trying to actually appease their constituents by offering the job back to him. Because you come into the news for a good reason, for once, rather than taking the job away, you're offering it back to him. So it's all good, publicity for that department, good publicity for the sports minister, and Vineet is getting what he wants. So
it's really we try to ponder upon does football pay you enough? It does. If you make it to big to a point where you do not require something to for a future just after you finish your career. But then some things are really according to Vineet, probably a government job is something to rely on after his career is over. It's like a pension that comes through, and there are multiple benefits of having a government job. So for all those budding aspiring footballers, football does pay you. And it's not that you need to leave around everything that you've studied for. So studies also, I would say, is important. But again, it's some sort of a good news for Vineet to at least have someone console him and saying that we will try to get the job back. So any more developments, we will let you know. Moving ahead, there is another club that we will talk about. This is from Kolkata. And Mohamedan Sporting is into the news, but not for some very good news. What bad news do we have, Chiranjit?
Yeah, some bad news coming our way from Mohamedan Sporting is that they are now caught in the mud of a CBI inquiry into the Narada scam. So Narada scam is like not a scam. It's like an issue that has been brewing for a while in the political spectrum. It was somebody who did a sting operation from allegedly a media group. Some say that group is politically motivated. So some of the West Bengal ruling party, some of the leaders and some of the ministers at state government, they were shown in that sting operation to be accepting money from a journalist posing as some sort of a businessman. That has been brewing for a while. There's an inquiry going into it, and this leader of Trinamool Congress, I think his name is Iqbal Ahmed, he's being questioned by the CBI. And he has told the CBI that after taking money from that scam, not the scam, the money offered by the person doing the sting operation, he took it and he gave it to Mohamedan Sporting, apparently. Right, and that is that drags the club into this whole mess. So basically, CBI has sent them a notice. They will have to come in and clarify what money they received and how they spent it. Now, this is a bit of a sketchy area to be in. We know that sometime around last year, things hit sort of rock bottom for Mohamedan Sporting. Like, they said they didn't have the funds to run the team anymore. They were going to shut down the first team in football, the senior team, right? And nobody could believe that Mohamedan Sporting was about to shut down, because it's again one of the oldest clubs in the country, and a huge amount of people came forward to sort of offer financial help, and then they got sponsorship from this soft drinks brand that was actually from Bangladesh. Okay, I have never seen that product being sold in India, but they sponsored that team. They played in the Calcutta Football League, wearing the logo of that soft drinks company. I think this is not even last year. This happened a couple of years back. Just before the fan garage went live, because I remember being in the early days of the company, we were watching Calcutta Football League together. So that happened, and this was happening, I think, after that or around the same time. I'm not exactly sure of the timeline of this sting operation. But the club has been dragged into the mud, which is a shame, because things were looking up so well for Mohamedan Sporting. They had done some really good signings. They were looking like they were going to be a title contender, maybe in the Calcutta Football League. Things are looking up for them in the second division league as well. But they have to deal with this now. Hopefully, it's not too serious on their part, like Mohamedan Sporting's part. This is not nothing new, is it, Kevin? Kolkata clubs being dragged into a financial mess that has been around, and it's not even typical to Kolkata. It just gets a lot more, it becomes a bit more hype profile when it comes to Kolkata, because you have a lot of politicians.
I think the bigger problem is that too many people are involved and too many people have too many agendas. If you really have this is a problem with everybody wants to run their own thing. If you have a fewer number of people with the mentality that they want to get the club forward, this at least would be reduced. We cannot say it's going to be completely taken away, because there are problems in every club. We see clubs being handled by professionals, those who've got CEOs, who've got some good management, management people at the top. There are problems everywhere. But then here, when you have too many people having too much of say in their in the decision making, you will have such problems.
So part of the problem with these Kolkata clubs is the semi-democratic structure that they have, it becomes like an election battle, right? When you have members vote and everything, you have card-holding members who have sort of a voting right, and the management is elected through that. The votes don't really happen that often. It's like once in 4 or 5 years you have that election. But whenever you have that structure, it invites a lot of politicians to come into the fray. And these clubs have, and I've said this again and again, East Bengal, Mohamedan Sporting, they evoke emotional responses from people. Yeah. And people are voters, so obviously, these clubs are prime tools for politicians to, publicize themselves and attract more votes. And same thing has happened, you just talked about how there are too many people in these clubs who all have their own agenda. Yeah, because so many politicians are in here and they participate in the election process, or some of them are club members themselves. Some of them have been associated with the club since they were children, and some of them really love football. Yeah. There's no two ways about it. They actually want to do good, but since they are also this and that, and there are a lot of egos involved. So if a politician is part of the club, you offer him a good post or something, and that gives him a certain amount of power within the club, which pisses off somebody else, and then they try to mobilize their own own group within the club, and all these things come in, and it creates a multitude of revenue. Revenue sources for the club as well, which in the end benefits the club financially, but then it becomes tougher to keep track of where the money is coming from. Yeah. And that's how you end up in these situations. Like, for example, a few years back, the chit fund scam that rocked West Bengal politics, right? And you had these chit fund like Rose Valley or in Sarada, these different chit fund groups. They were sponsoring in multiple football clubs, right? They were the main co-sponsors. Or they had these little logos on the tickets, not the big one, but their presence was everywhere. So when these chit funds went down, what happened was that people discovered the investigation was launched, and turned out they were breaking so many laws when gathering money from people, and then the money disappeared, and so many and hundreds of people lost their money by trusting these people. These are sponsors, so they gave money to these clubs. That's why you saw East Bengal and Mohun Bagan get dragged into that mess. And why? Because some of the officials were cozy with them. And then again, the political question comes back in. Right. Some of the chit fund companies are close to politicians. Some of the politicians are close to clubs. So there is a connection building, and they see the clubs as good promotional tools to market their company. So they put in money there, and the dirty money just gets into the system, and there is no escaping it, and the club's name gets mired. And maybe that's happening once again with the Mohamedan Sporting. Hopefully, they just answer CBI's questions. They provide whatever documentation necessary, and they come out of it fast, because the season is starting. Like, you have Calcutta Football League starting in August, and you can't really just
when you have want to focus on your pre-season, you really don't want this overhead of all this burden onto your head.
Yeah, I mean, that's not... This is the time when you should be signing players, when you should be getting your pre-season in order. Just get your ground in a better shape. Just, probably Mohamedan Sporting will play some of their home matches in their own ground. Like Mohamedan Sporting has, again, another really nice, cozy, beautiful stadium where they can play their home matches. So those are the things that should be talked about right now. Not suddenly like, you have some CBI coming and sniffing into the club's accounts and asking for details and stuff. It's really bad for the club. It's bad for Kolkata football as a whole.
Yeah, right. So we just hope some good news comes out for Mohamedan Sporting, because CFL is just around the corner and a lot of preparations to go. Just another news coming in right at the time of recording. I don't know if it will be still fresh by the time you hear this podcast. It is that Mumbai City FC will continue with their head coach, Alexandre Guimaraes.
Who is surprised?
Yeah, I think
they finished top of the table. I would be like cursing at them if they let that coach go. Like after what they went through in 2015 with a non-coach as a coach, and the dressing room troubles that entirely,
I think none of the ISL teams benefited with having a player manager, player head coach.
Yeah, it never works.
Yeah.
So
very wise decision.
Yeah, and look, I consider them to be the winners. Okay, Mumbai City. They finished top of the table. I don't give a shit about semi-finals and finals and penalties and shit. Okay, they were the top of the table. They were the best team. That's the takeaway. And the coach that comes in after you had your shittiest season ever. I mean, not that you have a big history or something, but such a nightmare of a situation you had with a player walking out in the middle of the season, the assistant coach and the head coach having ego clashes and discord in the dressing room that derails the campaign. You have Guimaraes coming in and giving you a top of the table finish. What more do you want? Yeah. And this time you don't have any playoffs. So if he does his job, Mumbai City are going to be again one of the favorites. I mean, Bengaluru FC are in the game now. I actually am starting to see them as favorites already. Although a lot of the will have a clear idea only after the draft is done. But seriously, Mumbai City, great decision.
Yeah. So the story will be up already on a website by the time you listen to this. And so another last topic that we would want to talk about before we end today's episode is Bhaichung Bhutia is being talked about to be moving from AIFF to a non-recognized tournament, that's the Premier Futsal. So again, a lot of back and forth whether he has joined or is he already considering or what. So reports are saying that he was rumored to be moving out of AIFF, but again AIFF officials managed to convince them, that is with double quotes, that they managed to convince him to stay at AIFF. Not sure what is the plan for Bhutia over here. Chiranjit?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't know what Bhaichung was thinking, man. Like they offered him a lot of money and he immediately got lured by it. Like everybody knows Premier Futsal. Like they can have their own thing of 2 weeks here and there. It's not approved by AIFF. It's not approved by FIFA. It's actually under this futsal organization which is completely at loggerheads with FIFA. So anybody who's connected with AIFF cannot go to that that organization. It's been clear all the time. Like Virat Kohli was one of their brand ambassadors last time.
Yeah.
Right? And he did not know. And he's apparently one of those quote unquote co-owners of FC Goa. Right?
Yeah.
And because he was there, it created such a huge controversy. It fueled the bad blood between AIFF and FC Goa and IMG Reliance. And I think towards the middle of the tournament, they had to pull all the ads featuring Virat Kohli.
Yeah.
Because he stopped going to their events. He stopped doing any promotional material for them. I don't know how Bhaichung could forget that and once again get lured by it, because part of the damage is already done. The PR team of Premier Futsal was handing around quotes from Bhaichung Bhutia saying, "I'm proud to be a part of this thing," and whatever it is. See, this is another masala tournament, okay? It's not even football. Futsal is played in indoor stadiums, so you don't have to do any infrastructure development. It's nothing. It's just this thing that happens for a couple of weeks, and I refuse to call it football. And maybe I just don't like the game of futsal, because I just think it's a bastardization of the actual football game. But even if you're keeping the futsal sport itself aside, Premier Futsal being not part of any developmental process in India, that is headed by AIFF or IMG Reliance or anybody or FIFA, it makes them what? Just an entertainment thing for 2 weeks, and what is to be gained by associating with them? Money. That's it. It's ISL on steroids, actually, with zero responsibility. ISL, obviously, I should not shit on them now, because they're getting recognized by AFC. They are actually coming into line. The franchises will get club license hopefully within the next few months. So yeah, they're doing something now. But what about Premier Futsal? They happened for 2 weeks last year, then they went away, and they're coming back again with a couple of star names to show off, who are too old to go to an actual football pitch. So yeah, that's what I think about this whole thing. I just don't know how Bhaichung got himself mixed in this embarrassing episode again.
It mostly appeared to be a rumor that Bhaichung himself is not given.
It was not a rumor. It was definitely not a rumor. There was something, he was in negotiation. He wanted to go, I think, primarily for the money, and the AIFF had to step in and say, "Hey, you are you work with some ISL teams. You are advisor to AIFF. You can't be any of that if you go there."
Yeah, hopefully we get to hear some official statement from somewhere, because
nobody will make any official statement.
Yeah,
they will just pretend it never happened. That's what happens in these situations. Same thing happened with Virat Kohli. They just pretended it never happened afterwards. So yeah.
All right. So that is all we have for today's episode. Watch out for the episodes coming next week. We've got some interesting topics lined up. And if you're listening to our show on YouTube, do like, share and subscribe. And do let us know via comments how you enjoyed the show, and if you want any more topics to be discussed, we probably will take them up as well. And you can talk to us via Twitter. We are on the handle TFG Football. And you can also listen to this podcast on various podcasting apps like SoundCloud, iTunes, and you download this awesome app called IVM Podcast. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.
That was Tantrik Steve from Hansraj College, Delhi, performing at IIT Bombay's Mood Indigo. Just like them, there's a lot of new talent and art coming out of colleges all across India, but unfortunately most of this goes completely unnoticed or ignored. To fix this, we started ATKT.in. Hi, I'm Ankur, I'm a musician and a rapper, and I found that one of the best things about being an artist myself is finding new talent. Through ATKT.in, Tanya, my colleague who's a dancer, and our whole team really is putting all of our efforts into discovering and promoting all the coolest talent that's coming out of colleges all across India. And this goes up on our website, our social media, TV, radio, and now, of course, this podcast with IVM. Make sure you go to our website, support the talent with your likes, your shares, your comments. All of that really matters. Go ahead, check it out. ATKT.in.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. Sorry to say, but there's been a slight delay due to the apocalypse having suddenly begun. As you can see, there's death, destruction, and chaos taking place all around us. But don't you worry, food and drinks will be served shortly, and I would recommend checking out
IVM Podcasts.
to catch some of your favorite Indian podcasts. We'll keep you going till this whole thing blows over. Thank you.